bill introduced into the Texas legislature just 2 days ago would allow cops to take your money on the spot. What are the implications of that? The bill was introduced by Representative Alan Fletcher. He's a former cop. He's the vice chair of the Homeland Security Committee, and he's on the Transportation Committee. This bill would require cops to inform defendants of the possibility of making an immediate payment of the fine and related court costs by use of a credit or debit card. And the cop would be the one accepting payment. Now, of course, the argument for this is that it would expedite collection. It would make everything just run so much more smoothly and securely for the police. But is it something that would increase your security? The police officer, as Adon points out, is going to have all of your personal information, now your credit card information as well. Do we have to worry about a cop committing fraud or identity theft? But by pulling you over and taking your money right there on the spot, it might help people to understand what this is really about. It's not about safety, it's about highway robbery. Literally. About 150 years ago, before we had cars and speeding tickets, Lysander Spooner asked the rhetorical question, what's the difference between government and a highway robber? Well, he pointed out the highway robber doesn't pretend he has any rightful claim to your money or that he intends to use it for your own benefit. And having taken your money, he says, he leaves you as you would like for him to do. But unlike the government, the highway robber doesn't keep protecting you by commanding that you bow down and serve him, by requiring you to do this and forbidding you to do that. Of course, this is all about the vanishing due process, vanishing trial by jurors. And of course, the idea and the understanding of jury nullification has long since left us. But this is heading in another direction as well. This is moving towards the computer-driven, government-controlled, driverless cars. Of course, an essential part of computer-driven cars is going to be vehicle-to-vehicle communication. If you don't think the government will be listening and working with insurance companies to make driving prohibitively expensive, you're not paying attention. They won't need cops for that either. These speeding tickets could be issued automatically. That's how they're going to force you out of controlling your car. That's how they're going to control every single aspect of your movement. But let's look at the effect on the due process and what's happened just this last election in North Carolina. North Carolina was the last holdout on requiring jury trials for felonies. It was in the Constitution, but that was just overturned in this last election. North Carolina became the 50th state. That's right, every one of the states allows a felony defendant to waive a jury trial. So what's wrong with being able to waive a jury trial if you really want to? Well, we know how this works in practice. Trials by jury have essentially disappeared from this country for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's the plea bargaining aspect, where they pressure the defendant with a lot of trumped-up charges to plead to one of those charges so they can get that without a trial. The other part of the problem is that since jurors see themselves now as a rubber stamp of the court, you don't have juries really acting independently, and they certainly don't understand the concept of jury nullification. That is, they're not there just to judge the facts of the case, they're there to judge how the law is being applied. I would suggest that if you really want to stand up for individual freedom, instead of wasting your time in elections, demand a jury trial for a minor traffic offense. If you lose, you'll have to pay the fine that you would have paid anyway. You're not going to go to jail for decades like you would in a more serious crime. But it gives you a chance to look the jurors in the eye, explain to them what the circumstances are, and tell them that they can cut their chains, the tyranny that is exercised over them, if just one of them will cut your chains. For InfoWars Nightly News, I'm David Knight.
We're live on this Thursday, worldwide transmission, the 13th day of November. I'm Alex Jones, your host. Big broadcast coming up, dead ahead. That was a special report with the amazing David Knight. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
When I first got online and I seen the price of the X2 and the DNA Force, I was a little hesitant, but I pulled the trigger on it. It has changed my life. I've been taking it for about 24 days now, counting the weight, staying in shape.
InfoWarsLife.com. You've heard the callers of the show.
Several months back, I started taking your Nathan iodine and your super meal. Prior to this, I was barely walking. Now I'm able to function as a human again.
Whether it's Survival Shield, Nascent Iodine, or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com.
Dash 2, just amazing what it's able to do to actually detox the body. It's great stuff.
If I'm going to promote something, it's got to be something I personally use and that I believe in. Check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Undoubtedly, today is one of the most heavy, crazy news days I've ever seen. Going over the hundreds of articles I have in front of me and video clips, my head is spinning. Extreme weather warning as polar vortex descends on U.S. All hell to break loose as they prepare for major power outages as ice begins to form on power lines across most of the country. Obama's secret treaty would be the most important step towards a one-world economic system. Barack Obama is secretly negotiating the largest international trade agreement in history, selling out U.S. sovereignty big time. Study, cell phone use triples brain tumor rates. Another article, iPhones are for amateurs. With 22 days to go, the Black Friday line has started. Unbelievable. Under Texas bill, cops to collect traffic fines on the spot via credit or debit card. No judge or jury needed. Proposed federal water rule could put property rights of every American entirely at the mercy of the EPA, says Congress. Source, Obama to announce 10-point immigration plan via executive action as early as next week. Fox News, Krauthammer slams constitutionally odious immigration proposal. Report, immigrants make up to 42% of Obamacare Medicaid expansion. Did you hear that? Boom. Health and Human Services Chief, Obamacare should be available to dreamers. It already is. Only the illegals get everything free to incentivize them to come in. Once they're here, they'll, of course, be taxed to the hilt. So that's just some of what's coming up. A nauseating statement by George W. Bush. George Bush, when Jeb beats Hillary, and I hate Hillary so much that when I see the name Jeb beside Hillary, I like Jeb. That is the manipulation they're involved in. Even my mind detests Hillary Clinton so much that it's like a you-know-what sandwich that's got 2 pounds of you-know-what in it versus a you-know-what sandwich that has 1 pound of you-know-what in it. I don't want to eat either sandwich. But the force feeding is being prepared. Sorry about the gross analogy, just there's no other analogy that fits. And when it fits, wear it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be breaking down what to expect from a lame duck Congress, the Democrats in free fall, and so much more. GOP's anti-Obamacare push gains new momentum in wake of Gruber video. Back on Monday, when we first started playing this clip, and we've now found 2 other clips of him saying we lie to people, they're stupid, dumb voters, increase the prices, Look at the Washington Post. If you guys can punch up on screen for TV viewers, radio listeners can go see the smirk that I've seen in the eyes and on the face of these people that pose as academics and pose as reasonable people and talk like that when they're preying on the population. And then they want to brag about how they're preying on the population. Headline, GOP's anti-Obamacare push gains new momentum in wake of Gruber video. The Republican Party's ardent campaign against President Obama's health care law gained new momentum Wednesday as lawmakers reacted angrily to assertions by an architect of the policy that it was crafted in a deliberately deceptive way in order to pass Congress. Well, of course it was. And the media, the accomplices, went along with it. On both sides of the Capitol, leading conservatives said they may call Jonathan Gruber to testify about his remarks, which were made last year and surfaced this week in a video on social media. In the video, Gruber suggests that the administration's signature health care legislation passed in part because of the, quote, stupidity of the American voter and a lack of transparency over its funding mechanisms. And he got paid 400 delicious smackers, $400,000 of taxpayer money in just one of his payments to then go out and help fix the numbers, in his words, get it all prepared to deceive Congress. Of course, Congress helped write the stinking thing with the big foreign banks and insurance companies. The Republicans went along with it, the Republican leadership. They know what's in it. Just like they're going along with Obama on the trade deal that signs over our sovereignty, or shutting off a lot of the power plants, just like they went along with a lot of gun control bills in the past. But they don't want it known they're doing this, so now they have to, oh my gosh, get upset because this type of arrogance, this type of disgusting arrogance is what will bring them down. It's like Al Gore is now officially a billionaire. Officially a billionaire. And Al Gore is running around saying you shouldn't live in a nice house. You know, Obama's saying you can't have an air conditioner or a car in Africa, while they just live with the carbon footprint of, I mean, the president has a carbon footprint of thousands of people, conservatively. I've never seen someone consume as much as Al Gore. Last time I saw an article about it, he owns like 15 houses. Some of them are 14,000 square feet. He owns villas on the ocean in California that are like, 10,000 feet. Just one of the houses has multiple homes at that property that he said would be underwater by now in 2008. By 2013, he said it would be underwater. He said the polar ice caps would entirely melt by 2013. It was all fraud. It was all lies. And they sit there and they laugh at us and say the giant polar vortex. In fact, let's get that British astrophysicist, top meteorologist on that we get on a few times a year. He predicted when he was on earlier this year super cold temperatures and an even bigger Arctic vortex. Of course, he said it about 10 years ago, too, following sun cycles, that we would be going into a mini ice age, basically. And that's what all the real scientists are saying. We should thank our lucky stars for the last 12,000 years coming out of the last ice age. That's why we've been able to colonize much of the planet. It's why we've been able